Most of the time, when we think of communication, we think of verbal communication, what we say. But what I want to share with you today may actually be just as important, if not more so. I am Jeff Whitaker, and this is your weekly Jumpstart for leaders and really anyone looking to improve themselves. The kind of communication that I want to talk about today centers around something I call modeling. Let me explain. I'm a parent, and I'm sure that many of you are. And if you think back to when our children were infants and toddlers, and many of you may be at that stage right now, well, how do we get them to learn anything? Think about it. From walking to talking to having good manners to picking up their toys. We teach them by modeling what we want them to do. They watch us, and it may take time, but if we repeat the behavior that we want or the words that we want them to say, eventually, if we are consistent and patient, well, it pays off and they begin to model what we do. But here's the thing, their minds are so moldable that if we break away from that model or aren't consistent with the habit that we want repeated, then they'll drift away and eventually stop doing what we want them to do. For leaders, it's the same thing. What you model is usually what you get in return from those you lead. And I use that word lightly because if you're not getting the desired results, you're really not leading. So if you want your employees or your volunteers or those you lead to exhibit good work habits, well, you need to model good work habits. If you want them to value customers a certain way, if that's what you're looking for, well, then you need to model that in the way that you value them as employees and your customers. Now, there's no easy shortcut, and believe me, they're always watching you as a leader. Here's an exercise we can all try, and yes, I'm including myself in this. Take a good look in the mirror and ask yourself if you are the kind of person that you would want to have as a leader in your own life. If the answer is yes, why? If the answer is no, well then why not? It's a great place to start. Think about it this week in your own life and develop a daily awareness of how you're doing as a role model. Because whether you realize it or believe it or not, and I'm telling you, people are watching. They're taking notes and they're modeling what they see. Now the good news is if you're modeling good traits, habits and such, well, you'll have a much more successful team than someone who isn't. I'm Jeff Whitaker, and if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up or a like or a share and help us spread the word. And if your company or organization would like me to come in and provide a free lunch and learn or a group teaching session on Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, well then drop me an email at the address below and we can talk further. In the meantime, let's go out and make a difference this